This video is the part 2 of British vocabulary and expressions. So we're basically focusing on words that are different to American English and expressions that are only used in Britain. We're going to start with the words which are different in British English and American English. The first one is aubergine. An aubergine is a vegetable and it's eggplant in American English. We also have courgette, which is a zucchini in American English. I'm sure that you've seen a recipe in English and you've seen some of these words. Most of the recipes that I see are in American English, so you might have seen the words eggplant and zucchini more than the British words, which are aubergine and courgette. Let's talk about roads. There are quite a few words which are different related to roads. A motorway is a highway in American English, and this is a road where cars go very fast and there are usually multiple lanes to drive on. If you want to cross the road, you have to use a zebra crossing, which is a pedestrian crossing in American English. Roads are made of tarmac, which is asphalt in American English. It's very strange for me to say that word. I don't think I have ever said that word before because I always use tarmac. Then we have the roads that usually go around a town or a city. They circle around the city. They are called ring roads in British English, and apparently they are beltways in American English. I haven't heard that one before. I always hear it in Britain, but I have never heard an American person say that word. I suppose it's because nobody talks about that in films. Then caravans are trailers in American English. A caravan is a vehicle that you can sleep in, and they usually have a kitchen and a little bathroom, and they are called trailers in American English. Now let's look at places in the city. An off-license is a place where you can buy alcohol, and that's a liquor store in America. We would say that we are going to the cinema, whereas Americans would say that they are going to the movie theatre. And lastly, we might say that we're going to a surgery, which is a doctor's office or a doctor's clinic in American English. In the other video, we talked about the bonnet and the boot of a car, and now we have an indicator. Your indicators are what you usually use to show other drivers which way you are going to turn. So in British English we say indicator, whereas in American English they say turn signal. And the glass that is on the front of the car is a windscreen in British English and a windshield in American English. Now let's look at some British slang and phrases. If you say that someone isn't the full shilling, it means that they're not very clever or they're a bit crazy. You can also say he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer or not the sharpest tool in the shed. They all mean that they're not the cleverest person in the world. If someone is trying to annoy you, you would say that they're trying to wind you up. If you're trying to wind someone up, it means that they're trying to make the other person annoyed and react badly. And if someone says something to you and you don't know whether it's true or not, and you want to ask them whether they're joking or not, or teasing you, you would say, "Are you having a laugh?" If someone told them that they won the lottery, they would say, "Are you having a laugh?" Like, "Are you joking?" If someone is annoyed or offended by something, then you can say that they are miffed. And if someone is irritable or easily annoyed, you can say that they are tetchy. If you have a teenage brother and he is irritated easily, then you would say he is tetchy, because you say something to him and he talks back not very nicely. Similarly, we have the word mardy, which means that they are bad-tempered or sulky. Young children are normally mardy when you tell them that they aren't allowed to do something. Like if a young child is asking to have an ice cream and you say that they can't have an ice cream, they might get mardy, like they might stomp their feet and cross their arms and start crying or start shouting. That means that they are mardy. If you like the Arctic Monkeys, there is a song called Mardy Bum, because the person that he's singing it to is mardy. They're in a bad mood. Mardy is similar to stroppy. If you get stroppy about something, it's the same as getting mardy about it. Like if I tell you that you can't use a computer, then a teenager might get stroppy about it. They get bad-tempered or moody. The last expression that we're going to see today is asking for trouble. Asking for trouble means that you're doing something risky. So if someone knows that they're doing something that they shouldn't, it means that they're asking for trouble. Trouble means like a problem, so they are doing something that they know they shouldn't be doing and they know that they might get into trouble, so they're basically asking for it. Especially if they're doing something dodgy. Dodgy means something suspicious or untrustworthy. If you're walking in the street and you see someone who is a bit dodgy, you might cross the road and walk on the other side. Or if you're in a dodgy area of a city, you might have to be careful of your belongings and make sure that you don't get your phone out in case you get mugged. If you see someone who is doing something a bit dodgy, it means that they're doing something that doesn't look quite right and looks a bit suspicious. So we can use the word dodgy for situations, people and places. It means that they aren't trustworthy and you should be careful because they might be asking for trouble. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you in another video.